Welcome to the Nerds of Comedy. We are back. It's been a while.
I can't even remember when we have done this. We have talked about it a lot.
Yes, we have talked about it a lot. I would say we've been busy.
Yes.
Which is good busy. The theater's been going relatively well, knock on wood. We've wanted to record. A lot of times we just have not been able to find the time.
Yeah, and there's also just been so much madness. Just a lot of work, but that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And it helps that Columbo is kind of back in the zeitgeist.
100%. I like the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
It is. I think Poker Face has really, or that's right, Poker Face is starting to really make people go back and look at it again.
Right.
Yeah.
It's made me kind of look at it again.
I enjoyed the hell out of Poker Face, and I think there is a time where we need to start getting real to each other, is that we are comedians, but if we could talk detectives, if you had these cameras that could be on all the time around us, like even on phone conversations, it would probably be 70% about detective shows.
Right. I would say, yeah, when we're talking, it's about detective shows, not about theater stuff or anything like that.
No, that 30% is so miserable, too, when we have to talk about that, where I'd rather just talk about
work.
Detective shows, yes.
So we are back. We're actually going to be recording a bunch of episodes tonight, so we will have some content for the next couple months.
Yes.
And tonight we are talking about
A Stitch in Crime. Mm-hmm. Columbo. I must also admit this. We're going to be calling these sort of the Tooth series. I have had some dental surgery, so for all the millions of viewers out there,
yeah,
please,
there are millions.
Please don't think I'm in bad trouble. I'm getting it fixed in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
This is Hillbilly Brad tonight.
Hillbilly Brad will be in the crowd tonight, and Stitch in Crime.
All right, so let's talk about it.
We're back. Yes,
We're back.
I love
This is the Leonard Nimoy episode.
Yes, it is.
And probably one of the most vile bad guys in the history of Columbo.
Love that we jumped right into this. I hope you jump into us. We're going to be less plotty where we don't have to be, so we can save time. Because I think you should just watch Columbo. I will say this to you. One of the coldest of all the killers. And there are a lot of cold killers in this series.
Yeah. And
He's cold.
Very cold. And one of the ones with multiple murders.
Yes. And wants to be 3.
Yeah, almost 3 murders.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he kills the nurse with the tire iron because she finds out about the, what's going to come up in a minute, about the
suture?
Yep. Bam, he's done with her, right? When we get to meet Columbo, he's very, very grumpy when we meet him, by the way. And then he kills Harry, right, with the syringe.
Yeah, he gives us, the nurse had a friend who was like an ex-drug addict or something, and he makes it look like he OD'd and fell down some stairs and broke his neck. And then
Dr. Heidman.
Yes. He that was the thing that set everything off.
Yep.
It was his partner on some medical thing they are working on, and he wants all the credit. He thinks the older doctor is pumping the brakes too much. He wants to publish. He wants to get his research back. So the doctor goes under for something fairly dangerous but fairly routine.
Yes.
And
there's something like connecting a valve or something.
Yeah,
else.
in his heart. So maybe not routine, but he's not that worried because Leonard Nimoy is doing the surgery, and Leonard Nimoy puts a suture in that will dissolve on its own, which means when it does,
he'll have heart failure again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's actually very brilliant. So he makes it so when this guy does die, it's going to look like he had a heart attack not long after the surgery. But the nurse realizes there's something wrong, I guess, when she's counting the sutures.
But I didn't bring this in on the operating tray. And I've handled enough suture to know what it feels like. This doesn't feel right.
And that sets off
whole chain of events.
Yes.
And Leonard Nimoy, again, as he said, he's a medical doctor in this, and he can edit all the stuff out you want to edit out. But what's so great about it, this plan is perfect, except for she finds it.
She finds it and kind of confronts him about it a little bit.
He tries to be sweet and calm, which is weird, yeah.
If Dr. Heidman dies, you take over the research project. You do your own transplant operating, and you get full credit.
And it doesn't work, so he bashes her with the tire iron.
Bam, she's down, parking lot. Yeah.
Yes. And then Columbo comes in. And so this is when we always like to talk about When did Columbo know? Do you have an answer on that?
On this one? Oh, man.
I think Columbo actually says it.
Oh, I know it. Yes, I know it. I think it's one of the most famous ones he knows, yes. It's upon his first meeting of Leonard Nimoy in the first 6 seconds.
Well, what happened? Do they have any idea who did it?
We don't know yet.
His voice, he's very concerned.
Oh, that's
over the
terrible. But he's of course, and Columbo is right on it. He's like, yeah, that takes a lot of concentration there.
No, most people, they'd be in such a state of shock, they'd never be able to split their concentration like that. The way you did, setting your clock there.
Well, it must have been a purely reflexive reaction.
You know, when
Yeah,
he comes
most
in.
people, when they hear bad news, they just stop whatever it is.
What
they're doing.
happened? Who? Yeah, it's gonna be like that, but not what he did right then.
Yes.
Yeah, he got him.
And then he just starts, like Columbo does, starts dogging him. And Nimoy is very keen on like trying to throw off suspicion. So he steals some morphine to plant in the nurse's house,
Yep.
which that doesn't work.
Puts her in the sink. Yep.
Because he wiped the bottles down for fingerprints, and Columbo's like, well, if she's going to keep them in her home underneath her sink, she's not going to worry about wiping off fingerprints because we already have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't there have been fingerprints on the morphine bottle? That
Exactly.
made no sense. Yeah.
So then he decides, well, I need to throw suspicion onto somebody else. So he found out that the nurse was friends with this
Harry.
ex-drug user. Yep.
Yeah.
So he breaks into Harry's place and kind of cold, like he's waiting for me, ambushes him.
Again, just nasty Leonard Nimoy in this, right? And looking very 70s in it at that.
Yeah, very 70s.
That outfit he's wearing at that party is freaking hysterical. Yeah.
Gives him the overdose, but turns out he did it.
Puts it in his left arm.
Why would a left-handed man give himself a shot in his left arm?
Then you don't believe that he killed Sharon Martin?
To tell you the truth, I doubt it, but I think someone's going to an awful lot of trouble to make it look that way.
And Columbo's just getting closer and
I like that you're
closer.
sharking
Yeah,
this
it
guy,
is
yeah.
very much like a shark. Also, this is a unique episode in that Columbo loses his cool. It's only happened, I think, what we said 2 other times? Prescription murder.
Yep. We got the first one. As a matter of fact, we just read about this. Is it like, they said that one, this one, and then I think he loses it in the one where exercise and fatality.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Right,
So I
yes.
think it's a later one. Which, by the way, we'll dork out about this all day. I'm really enjoying this. Columbo, we're on to him now. Leonard
Right.
Nimoy is the cold killer. You've heard how he did it. Go watch it. Columbo in this episode is a little attached to the doctor, might be one way to say it.
The old doctor? Yeah.
Yeah, because he really, I think he thinks he's going to be outsmarted by this brilliant doctor.
Yes,
It
this
almost
is-
is like a challenge for Columbo in this one.
This is one where, from the get-go, you can tell Leonard Nimoy just does not see Columbo as a challenge whatsoever.
No, and but starts to gain respect for him. He starts to realize he's very methodical himself.
Yes.
You know, to where there's a mirror image that's one guy in his job that's so, and then this guy in his job that's does it a different way but still gets the results. Columbo is genius in this one, but he did lose his temper, and we read that Levinson didn't like
Yeah.
that play by him. Thought it was a sort of a dramatic moment by Peter, he said, or something. Yeah.
Peter wanted his acting moment.
Yeah.
I believe you killed Sharon Martin, and I believe you're trying to kill Dr. Heidemann.
Lieutenant Columbo, you're remarkable.
But again, it's a great scene. Like I like seeing Columbo lose his cool.
Yeah,
a little
what
bit.
does he slam something on the table, a water bottle or something?
Yes.
It's like that. He's like, I know you did it, and he has that. It is an actor moment.
Now I can't remember because it's been a little while, about a month or so since I last watched this one. He's weirded out in hospitals. He's not a big fan of.
Can't stand him, and everybody's trying to get him to watch a surgery, and
Right,
everybody
and
wants
he
him to
gets-
go to him. Like, oh no, thank you.
Yeah, he kind of gets sick.
Frozen, yeah.
Right. It happens again. I just watched another one, which we'll be talking about for a future episode, The Forgotten Lady, where
Janet Leigh one, yeah.
where he's in a hospital as well, and he's just weirded out about being
Oh
in a
yeah,
hospital.
he's kind of like the precursor to Monk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Almost
To where
OCD,
he's a
that's-
little. He has his Monk. 'Cause remember the airplane one too? He didn't want to be in that.
Right.
He's a bit of a chicken.
Yes,
You know, he really is a bit of a chicken.
He
but
doesn't carry a gun.
Nope.
He doesn't want anything
Nope.
to do with it.
Nothing to do with that, and he doesn't want to fix his car. You know, he's just very low maintenance fella.
Very, very low maintenance.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the party he goes to? Leonard Nimoy's having like this party in the afternoon, and Columbo shows up.
Oh, you might not have that.
Yeah.
He's eating, but the outfits are so
70s.
They're so great. They're so great, guys. If you have not watched these episodes, I beg of you to go back and watch them. You can see why the poker face director, I can't think of, or Ryan Johnson or whatever, is grabbing these things again. They're so good, y'all.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and yeah, he's hounding him. He's
Yeah.
hounding him there. Yeah. So popping back to the ending. I know we're trying to make these shorter, but Stitch and Crime. Columbo's losing his temper is cool. He also gets outfoxed in this one until
little
the
bit.
very last second of the
Yes.
episode. Well, let me ask you that question then. Is he, or is he putting on an act there and knew before he walked in that room?
I think he knew. So what happens is
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy realizes that the jig is up. Columbo has found out something about a suture, so he has to go put
That's the Mac. The
Yeah.
thing in the paper is it was not calling a guy named Mac. It was calling the
company that
Mac.
made yes. The nurse had written something to remind herself to call this company to find out about these sutures. So he gives the older doctor a drug that makes him sick, so he has to, under the auspices of putting him back under, and that's when he's going to remove the dissolvable suture and put an actual suture in.
He's abandoning the plan. Where if you
Yeah.
think about it from Leonard Nimoy's point of view, you've just waxed two people for no reason. So I mean, now it's even more pointless.
So the surgery is a success, and the second it's over, he starts to leave the operating theater.
Please pardon the interruption. I'm Lieutenant Columbo, police. Some of these gentlemen are doctors. I know this is unorthodox, but we do have a search warrant. Just bear with us for a moment. Be sure to check out everything.
Going through it, and he turns to the dude, and he goes, "What do you got?" And there's a guy that I guess is in on the surgery in there, and he's like,
Right.
"I didn't see him do one thing untoward."
Yes.
And you're like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Yeah.
So then he's like, does he get into some sort of altercation with
Yeah.
Columbo?
So when he walks in, he goes, "What are you coming into my place for? Why are you doing this, Columbo? Get out of here!" And he like shoves him.
I don't have to stand for this.
I'm sorry, Doctor. You can't leave just yet.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. In the middle of a surgical area? I suppose you realize that your superiors will be hearing from the Board of Medicine.
Leonard Nimoy's first time he loses his temper in that too.
Right, so
Holy
that's
crap,
what-
I didn't think about that.
Yes, so Nimoy shoves Columbo, and when he
Holy
does,
shit. I just
he
had a moment on
drops-
TV. Yeah.
drops the suture into the scrubs that Columbo is wearing, because then Columbo's immediately like, search that man. The cops pat down Leonard Nimoy. They don't find
Take his
anything.
hat off. They can go through his hair. They can do everything
Yes,
on it. Yeah.
exactly. And he has this smug kind of look on him the entire time. And I think it was actually Columbo is a little bit defeated / confused.
Yeah, he's
like-
definitely confused. Yeah.
Because he thought he had him dead to rights, and now it's the suture that he thought was going to be the smoking gun is not there.
No.
But
He has
what-
no proof of anything there.
Yes. But then what tipped him off, he
Well-
comes back in.
Yeah. Well, he goes into his office and admits defeat. Before you get to that part, he admits
Yep.
defeat to him. He says, "I got to tell you, I don't know how you did it." He goes, but you did it. Well done, sir. And remember, and he gives him the speech and takes off the scrubs and throws them on the couch and admits defeat.
Yes.
Now you can tell your part, right? Because that's
Then-
where you're talking about. Yep.
And then he leaves, walks 2 or 3 steps out the door.
Spock smiles as soon as the door is closed. I remember
Yeah.
the close up where he's like, "I beat him," and he gives you the eyebrow.
He does the Spock eyebrow,
at,
yeah.
at the end too. He gives you 2 eyebrows in this if you're looking for them. But go ahead.
And then the door bursts open, and Columbo is back.
Here you are. You're a surgeon, a man that's got to be cool. Even when you're angry, you're controlled. You never lose yourself. That's why it struck me funny when you blew up in the operating room and you grabbed me and pushed me.
And he digs in the pocket of the scrubs that he's just taken off. And that's when he finds the suture.
But what, going back to what you had said though is it was because the only thing he hadn't searched was the place. He's like, well, you lost your cool. You've never lost your cool.
Yeah, you've been cold and calculated this entire time. Why
that's-
would you now?
And when he got him, he's like, the one place I didn't check was my
Myself.
Yeah, that's right. It was myself. And he
Yeah.
goes over there and pulls it out. And it's a really kind of cheesy ending. Like they have a little bit of this Murder, She Wrote where they'll freeze it a little bit.
Yep.
where he's like, it just pauses on it at the end.
Have no denouement or anything like that. It's
No.
just done.
All right, so because of time's sake, I mean, this one we're going to fly through because we're doing a few more tonight, but I love this episode. I want to ask you on this. Something I wish we had started at the beginning. How do you like, what Columbo backstory, did you see any backstory of Columbo in this that you enjoyed? Because I've found the more I'm watching them, I'm rewatching all of these right now, I forgot about that Columbo's world intrigues me too.
You're talking about like nieces or nephews or brothers or brother-in-laws that he makes up or may or may not make up to.
That kind of thing. Or like sometimes he's taking his dog to the vet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like the one that we're going to talk about coming up in a little bit. He has to go to the shooting range, which is one of my favorite ones. Because he doesn't go. But okay, so it's been a minute for you on this one. Me too on this one. I didn't found it have a whole lot of Columbo backstory. Somebody correct us. I know y'all are out there. But I thought this was very more story.
I think so too.
The plot, right?
If you think you had a lot going on with the plot. I mean, you had 2.5, or you had an attempted murder and then 2 other murders. So this was very plot heavy.
Very much so. All right, so I'll ask you this one. This is the thing I wish we had started from the beginning. If I had to ask you quickly to rank this as if I said the most sinister murders on Columbo, would Leonard Nimoy's Dr. Barry Mayfield make your top 10?
I would say yes.
How about 5?
I would say he would make my top 5.
What? All right.
I think he's that.
What do you like about him?
I think because he is so cold, he literally beats a woman to death with a tire iron.
It's frightening. He looks like an animal.
And then waits inside a darkened apartment for a guy to come home.
And guys, this is a real 70 LSD kind of feel to it. It has a
Yeah.
lot of that wah, 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 wah.
Who, again, especially when he gives the guy the drugs and the guy's trying to
It's
sell me
so
out.
freaky.
For a guy that he has never met before.
Never.
This is, again, collateral damage. He's like, I need a patsy. Unfortunately, you're going to be the guy that I pick.
Yeah.
The fact that he's willing to kill, I guess, his like best friend / mentor. He has no compunction about that either. He's just so matter of fact about everything. I would say he's probably in my top 5.
I love this. It is top 5 on that. I'm going to pause and say I've just remembered one thing I wanted to say. There is a Columbo moment because this is season 2, if I'm correct. Mm-hmm. Is we're seeing his bad manners in hospitals. Remember actually how he and Dr. Heidman become friends? Because what kind of man, even in the 70s, should be smoking in a guy's heart room?
Right.
Like, even then, this was probably not the most liked thing.
Yes.
But the doctor likes was like, no, it's the only thing that made me feel human because he's this old grumpy, grumpy asshole. But yeah, top 5. I can't believe that made it. I'd like to.
Would he make your top 5?
No. But he's at 6, I would bet.
Okay,
he's
so he does
right
make your
outside
top
of
10.
mine. Yes, he makes my top 10.
I would say we are going to do, maybe not tonight, but soon, we are going to do a top 10 Columbo villains.
We have
episodes.
to. We have to do top villains. We have to do character moments of Columbo.
Yeah.
I can't, guys. I'm so pumped to be back.
All right, we got a bunch more coming your way. Stay tuned to the channel, please. Like, subscribe. I know we've been away for a while, but we are going to be back trying to get some regular content coming. Maybe some Poker Face. Who knows down the line?
Glad you said it. I'd give a thumbs up, big thumbs up to the actress in that and to all the players in that. That is a fun show.
It really is. It is very much a throwback show.
And to Hal Ketchum. So if you like Columbo, I give you this. You'll at least you will be very intrigued.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So for the Nerds of Comedy, I'm Sean.
I'm Brad.
And we will see you real soon.
Yep. Tooth.